Morning, afternoon, and night. It's CBS 42 weather around the clock. Brought to you by Southern Home Structural Specialists. Now, the latest forecast from the CBS 42 Storm Team.
Happy Saturday evening, friends. Storm Team Meteorologist Jacob Woods. We are staying dry, warm, and muggy for the rest of this Saturday evening. Temperatures falling from the 80s into the 70s. And then we'll see a complex of storms form in western Alabama after midnight, pushing across the region into the wee hours of Sunday morning. Not all of us expected to see showers and storms, but for those who do, could wake you up to some loud claps of thunder and certainly hearing the very heavy rain with some locally strong to intense storms that could produce some gusty winds. Most of us stay dry after those showers and storms early tomorrow into the rest of our Sunday, but if a storm pops up Sunday afternoon, it would be very isolated, could produce some gusty winds and some hail. And then we're weather aware for Tuesday night into early Wednesday for a line of storms that has a more organized threat for severe weather. So here's Futurecast showing as we go into late tonight, really after midnight, some of those isolated storms forming over western Alabama, quickly conjoining there into a complex of storms with a lot of lightning and thunder, very heavy rain pushing across portions of central Alabama. This particular model could be a little bit too far north or too far south on exactly where this complex forms, but I do think a good chunk of us get some heavy rain into the early hours of our Sunday. By 7 a.m., most of it over eastern Alabama, some hit and miss storms through the lunch hour across the rest of the region, but I think this model kind of overdoing what would be happening between sunrise and lunch tomorrow. I think it's going to be more isolated hit and miss. And then for the afternoon, more sun than clouds for the majority of us, staying dry. But if a storm pops up like this model shows, it could quickly become intense with some gusty winds and some small hail as it forms there in the heat of the afternoon. So most of our Sunday is going to be in good shape. Some soggy conditions there for the early morning of the region's tournament there the last day, but most of us are going to be dry with temperatures in the mid 80s, feeling like it's in the lower 90s with that oppressive humidity sticking around. So here's that low wind threat, level 1 out of 5 marginal risk, mainly west of Birmingham as we go into tonight for some of those gustier winds along that complex of storms, but I think it's mostly just going to be some heavy rain and thunder and lightning. But here's where the greatest threat resides for Tuesday's outlook. This is when we're weather aware, and right now kind of honing in on northwestern Alabama across portions of the mid-south, but we're still over 3 days away, so this is going to shift and kind of move around some. But if we do see those severe storms push through, 60 to 70 mile per hour winds would be on the table, and up to ping pong ball size hail is possible. Of course, torrential downpours are likely. So after the storms push through Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, we're going to return to sunshine for the second half of the week. Temperature is much more refreshing. Lower humidity will be back into overnight lows in the 50s and afternoon highs in the 70s for Thursday and Friday.